What's up, y'all? What's going down? Quick video of the day. This is what's on my mind. Standards, relationships, the whole scrotduggery of it. I don't got all the answers. This is just how I'm getting down with it. Not saying I'm right, but this is my little theory, my postulation, my hypothesis on the Jimmy Jam of relationships. Check it out. What you allow is what will continue, okay? So, if you're dealing with something, hey, good morning, Megan. Good to see you. If you're dealing with something in a relationship, what you allow is what's going to continue. You know, you've got to have your standards, you got to have your boundaries, and you got to keep them strong. You got to realize that with a relationship, or, you know, maybe it's just the nature of my being, but everything relates back to combat. Like love and war is synonymous. You know, if you allow something once, it's like negotiating with terrorists. You know, you let them do it once, you give them an inch, and then they want a whole mile, and they feel entitled to a mile because that one time you did it, you let them do it. They think that because you allowed it and you were gracious then, they can do it again. Obviously, there's a place for grace, and you got to keep all this stuff in balance. But what I find is that you, out of love and respect for the people that you're in relationships with, you're under like a moral obligation to be very, very straightforward about your boundaries, about what you will tolerate, what you won't tolerate, you know? So you're not in the corner getting upset and no one else knows why, you know? And if that happens to you, then boom, it's kind of your fault you're upset because people don't know why, or because you haven't been respecting your own boundaries. And if you're not respecting your own boundaries, you can't expect other people to respect your boundaries either, you know? So these boundaries and saying no to people and being like, nah, hey, you know, that's really not cool with me, what you just did, and saying it in a spirit of love and respect is like one of the most important things that you can do in a relationship. To try to keep someone happy or to try to be like, you know, just go with the flow and roll with it. One, you're not being authentic, you're not being congruent, your values aren't lined up with your actions, so you are not going to be happy, like, especially long term. The goal with these relationships in my mind is to create something that's long lasting, something of high value. So it's like so important that you're being congruent, consistent, honest the whole time about how you're feeling, what's acceptable and what's not, because you're trying to make a bed that you're going to be sleeping in long term, right? And if you're making your bed in a way that like might keep the other person happy now, sorry, I'm backing up. Here's my scrotduggery on parking. True operators always back in. Any rate, back to relationships. So if you're making your bed in a way that is like maybe keeping the person happy now, but isn't going to give you any lasting success or be something that you can really deal with long term, you're doing both you and them a disservice because they're obviously trusting you with their emotions and their heart as well. So keeping those boundaries is like important. I think it's a true expression of love to let people know like, hey, this bugs me. I really didn't like it when you did this. It could be my issue that it's bugging me, but as it is right now, this is kind of where I'm at and this is what's really bothering me, you know? So I just wanted to put that bug in your ear and, you know, like just really start thinking about if you're having any friction in a relationship, think about that. Like, have I been true to my values? Have I like even let the person know like what's bothering me? And then if they're overrunning and overstepping the things that you tell them you really don't appreciate that hurt you, then you got another decision to make, you know, because there are people that you have a higher moral obligation to, i.e. children, i.e. like your spouse if you're married, or a relationship that like has years behind you, you know, you want to work with these people, you want to make these things work. But anybody else outside of those important, like integral relationships that you know that there's a higher level of moral binding that's gone on or that you don't want to sacrifice, anyone else outside of the realm of those people, my personal approach is I give you a couple of different, you know, warnings and I give you some signs, but you're going to get steel curtained if you keep on treating me the wrong way. Why? Because I love myself. Why? Because I treat myself well and I have standards, you know, and it's not about like, it could be a million things, but at the end of the day, like, for instance, drama people, like, you know, those people that are always saying they don't like drama, they don't want drama, but they tend to be the most drama. Like, drama doesn't just happen to you. You create that stuff. I have zero drama in my life because I keep myself, my borders, my lines, and my, you know, I protect my space and I protect my life. The only people causing drama in my life are the people that have the, you know, a high level of that connectivity that, you know, like they're just struggling with something. There's that type of drama. But then there's the other type of drama that's like extracurricular drama. And the people in my circles don't create that stuff. So at any rate, wanted to just drop that bug in your ear, reassess, you know, if there's a problem, reassess the problem and ask yourself if you've been part of the problem by contributing and not being honest about what really bothers you. And also ask yourself, is the other person just doing this because of their own issues? And if you do bring it up to somebody and they don't respect your boundaries, then you got to ask yourself, does this person love me enough to treat me the way that I deserve to be treated? And then you got to ask yourself, do I want to stay in a relationship where either I wait for this person to mature, which is noble, or, you know, what's the risk versus reward? Is waiting for this person to mature and grow up gonna, you know, serve me in a way that I believe I should be served? Or is it one of those things where we're just going in circles, not getting anywhere, and this is stopping me from, like, reaching my own greater purpose and destiny and future and things like that? It's a lot of soul searching stuff. I don't got all the answers, but that's kind of my, like, scroduggery. That's my ology about it. Relationships, boundaries, borders. True love is telling people how you really feel. Anything else? One last point on that. The other thing about telling people how you really feel in a respectful, like, exclamation point on the word respectful. Respect is the foundation for any positive communication and relationship, in my opinion, at least from the masculine standpoint. I think I forgot what I was saying, actually. Respect's important. Love you guys. It'll probably come back to me and maybe I'll finish the video later. If you know somebody who could use this information, share it, tag them, flip it, flop it. Let me tell them what you're thinking. I don't know, however you want to do it. But I love you guys. Thanks for joining. Thanks for that's so true, Megan. I can see all those comments, man. What's going on, Sean? It's been a while. Yeah, you can't run from your issues. You got to stand up for yourself. That's definitely the truth. You know, that's what I was going to say. If you're telling somebody something that, if you're in a position where you're doing things in your relationship in order to, like, make someone happy, you also need to really reassess, like, do you love them enough to tell them where you're coming from in order to make the overall relationship healthier? You know what I mean? Because if you're actually doing things for their affection rather than their well-being, you might be involved in a more parasitic form of love where you're actually getting something from them at their, like, own real, true, long-term expense. Hope that made some sense. I'll make another video and clarify, but right now I gotta go. Love y'all. Good seeing you again, Sean. Megan, thanks for always joining me. And do the best you can with what you got today. Later.